Afternoon everybody, Rich here, back for another video for the Diecast F1 review. Here today is the Jordan Mugen-Honda 199 for the 1999 Formula 1 World Championship, and in the car is Damon Hill. Now of course the Jordan 199 was the most competitive Jordan of ever, I think. Third place in the Constructors' Championship, 2 wins, and a fight for the Drivers' Championship until almost the very end, courtesy of Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Damon Hill, on the other hand, had a pretty dismal season, and I'll get to that later on. Well, the car itself started off pretty much where 1998 started off, finished probably, I should say. if it started the same in 98, then I think everyone would have committed suicide. But the 99 car started off where 98 had finished. Second place in Australia, third in Brazil, and pretty much a podium at every other race throughout the season. Heinz-Harald Frentzen really enjoying time at the Jordan team. Of course, sadly, that wasn't to last. And of course, championship contender up until I think the European Grand Prix, maybe Malaysian Grand Prix. I know going into the European race, he was 10 points adrift of the top 2, which was of course Hakkinen and Irvine. But I think the challenge slipped away a bit when the team got to Malaysia. I don't think the Jordan car really suited the circuit rather. But the car was competitive at pretty much every race. I think only one pace issue with the car, and I think that was at the Spanish Grand Prix, where I think both drivers finished outside the points. But at every other race, I think the car was on course for points and probably podiums as well. I think mainly the only issue with double retirements was car related. I think Canada was brake failure, and in Europe it was electrical problems or hydraulic problems that put both cars out. But pretty much the car was a competitive one at every race. And really it was the last hurrah for Jordan team. They were never the same again after the 99 season. I think they just got a bit too big-headed going into 2000, and with a revolutionary car, and it looked pretty good, but it never happened again. And the team was never the same, and they slipped and continued slipping until finally they sold up and left. Of course, Jordan team is now Force India after a few other renames in between. Of course, this car was one I thought at the time was going to bring Damon Hill back into the championship contenders, because the car, in the hands of Heinz-Harald Frentzen at least, was an absolute stunner. I mean, it's second place in round 1, although saying that, there was a lot of issues with the reliability of the other teams, only McLaren and Michael Schumacher popping out or dropping out in Australia. But yeah, it's kind of, was it really the car, or was it the failure of everyone else throughout 99? Because I know the season was up and down for a lot of teams. I mean, we lost Michael Schumacher. I say lost him, but he had to take a few months off because of a broken leg after Silverstone, which sort of jumbled the field up a bit. And McLaren were either winning races or falling off the road. Irvine was winning races or was just too slow, and Williams and Stewart were just not quite there competitively. Benetton they were nowhere in 99. And Stewart had moved up, and Williams were sort of dropping back. But was it really the car for the 99 season, or was it just, like I said, the failure of everyone else? It's sort of one of those, one of 50 of one, or whatever it is, 50-50 really. But it really showed when they went into 2000 that the other teams had moved forward and Jordan had fallen back really. But the 99 car, it looked brilliant as well, I have to say. The 2000 car looked good, but the 99 car was a better looking machine. Of course, with the buzzing Hornet on the nose and these stripes along the back. I apologise, I'm sort of forgetting what I'm trying to say here. Yeah. But the 99 car really was the last hurrah. Of course, Damon Hill, like I said, I really thought it was going to bring Damon Hill into a championship winning position again. He had a reasonably steady second half of 1998, of course, winning in Belgium, and then tons of other points scored throughout the season, or throughout the second half of the season. And it really did look good for 1999, but he just didn't, I don't know if the motivation was there, but he announced his retirement after Canada, or before Canada, I can't remember, but he announced his retirement, and everyone just seemed, even me as well, just think, Damon, just go. You know, you're wasting your time. You're driving a competitive car and you're making it look bad. Put someone younger in the car, and you know, I think they had Jarno Trulli on the call, or Jos Verstappen did tests in the car as well. And then Damon said, "No, I'll stick out for the rest of the season." And why? You know, he could have just walked away, and the team could have had a much better season. You know, they could have been further up the constructors' table. Well, not so much further up the constructors' table, but more points. But yeah, it's a sad end for what was Damon Hill's career. And Heinz-Harald Frentzen never really had a rear gunner working with him. It was pretty much all Heinz-Harald Frenzen's team throughout '99. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've got to say about the car in general. But we'll just move on to the model now, or at least the box. Of course, it's a Mattel model, as it says down here, Mattel Hot Wheels Racing, and it's one of the early Mattel models as well. We've just had the '98 range of models, because we had the Stewart, Williams, Ferrari, and I think that was pretty much it for the Mattel models of '98. But '99, Mattel stretched out with a few more. Jordan, Williams. I'm trying to think what else they've done. I know they did Ferrari, Stewart, Williams, Jordan, and maybe a couple of others. I can't remember, but I think I probably got them as well. Anyway, early Mattel model. The box is not too bad. It's a bit flimsy on the sides here, but this box has actually stood the test of time quite well. It's a bit shitty on top because the plastic has, I don't know, it's steamed up and gone manky, I don't know. But on the side we've got Damon Hill. On the back we've got all the other guff. A weird picture of the car there, which had all its advertising edited out. And we've got the big Jordan Grand Prix logo on the side there. And of course the bright yellow colour scheme of the team. Really do miss having yellow cars on the grid. But anyway, that's the box. Now I should do a quick jump cut or a quick edit, and I'll come back once the car's been removed. So back in a moment. Okay, back again. Now here's the car in its unboxed form, and I do apologise for the light being not natural. I just had to put the ceiling light on because it's raining outside for the millionth time, and it's gone cloudy and dark, and yeah, it's a bit shitty outside, and it's affecting the light in here. So I apologise if the light is not up to standard, but it's the best I could do. Now this is one of the best Mattel models from the early years anyway. They did make the Williams and the Ferrari from '99, and they are not a snatch, or not a, nothing compared to this. Although the only issue I have is, of course, the Mattel tyres are a bit too shiny for race used tyres, or you could just say you just come out the pits, but it is an absolute stunning model. Like I said, the tyres are the only thing that lets it down really, but not a big issue. The decals are applied brilliantly. They're not going to peel off, you can scratch them all day and they won't come off. And structurally the car's pretty good. The rear wing is a bit loose. When I say it's not loose, it's just a bit thin, but not a big issue. You got the antennas on the top of the chassis here, which are the same as, I think, the same as Minichamps, just flexy bits of plastic. The wing mirrors are pretty on there pretty solidly, and yeah, an absolutely stunning model. It's very well made. It's pretty solid. I mean, apart from the rear wing, the front wing is on pretty solid. The suspension is rock solid. The steering is really stiff, really solid, and I have to say I really like this model. It stands out really nicely. If you have it in your display cabinet, it really does stand out. It's a really aggressive look, the black and yellow. I think the yellow itself may be a bit too pale. I think it should be a bit more mustardy, where this is a bit more greeny yellow, but I think that may be to do with the light above. Now I'll just turn the light off, see if it's any better. Is it any better? Can't really tell, but judging by the light coming from outside, it is a bit pale as well, a bit greeny. When I say a bit green, it's hard to say what shade it is, but yeah, it's not brilliant. Anyway, I shall turn the light back on because it's getting darker by the second. There we go. Good thing of having a light switch on a bloody string is that you don't have to reach very far, but far enough. Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, it's the car. Yeah, apart from, I think the colour is a bit of an issue, but not to worry. A quick look on the underside. Of course, we've got the painted plank, that is typical of Mattel at the time. Of course, we've got Jordan 199, 118, Mattel Inc., and all the other guff. And the big Hot Wheels logo there. And of course, got all the structure for the the underside of the front suspension and the barge boards. Barge boards are very stiff and nicely attached on there. They're not going to fall off. And very nicely made model it is as well. Yeah, we've got the another gimmick of the Mattel, the early Mattel models is these ridiculous fuel flaps. I don't know why they added them to these models, but there we go. There's one there. It opens up. Don't know why they added this gimmick, but I suppose if you're going to buy, I think some model companies, I think Minichamps made pit stop figures. Well, I know they have made pit stop figures, but I don't think they actually made them for Jordan. I think they're mainly for McLaren and Toyota, where you can make a sort of a pit stop diorama. But I don't know if it's a gimmicky thing or a gimmick that works or not. I think it's just kind of a pointless gimmick. But they carried on with this gimmick for the 2000 season as well, and yeah, it's a bit weird, but never mind. Quick look around the rear here, and of course got the rear wing hasn't got any decal on, which is a bit weird. I thought it had Buzz and Hornet on the rear, but this model does not. It's a bit dusty as well because it was in a cabinet for about 5 years before I put it in a box. I bought this model back in 2001. Once again, it was at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. And I can't remember the price of it because it's such a long time ago. I think 14 years now. But yeah, it was on display next to the TV for about 5 years, and then we put it back in a box and pretty much forgot about it. And I really should have given it a clean. But yeah, overall, I say this is one to collect because it is a really nice model. Of course, it's the last of Damon Hill's, or the last car Damon Hill drove, and this helmet is replicated in the traditional Mattel way. I'm not really big on helmet shape or design or whatever, but I know some people get a bit anal with the helmet detail, but this sort of is alright, does the job. I'll just do a quick zoom around the cockpit. I'll just turn the car that way, and I do like the steering wheel on this car. It really is nicely done with the MasterCard and the Jordan logo on it. It does turn a little bit, as you can see there, and I think something just fell over outside. I shall examine that later on. We'll just zoom out again and turn the car back around. But yeah, it is a nice model, and that's one I would recommend getting. Of course, it is the last hurrah for the Jordan team. Really. Turn that way. So yeah, the last hurrah really for Jordan. The team were never the same again, like I said, for 2000. Sorry about that, quick jump cut there. Something was going on outside and I had to work out what it was. But yeah, the team was never the same again after the 99 season. The 2000 season was a disaster. The engine blew up at every given opportunity, and the drivers fell off the road at every given opportunity, and the season was a disaster. In 2001, slight improvement, 5th overall, but nothing like the 99 season. 2002 once again was a joke, but 2002 was pretty much written off by everybody that year. 2003, the first year with their Cosworth engines, a win, but that was pretty much it. And 2004 was pointless as well, really. In 2005 the team weren't the same, or 2005 the team weren't really Jordan anymore, but I'll get to them later on. I'm kind of just doing the Jordan cars in order now. I've done all the from 91 to 98 so far, and I will do 2000 onwards at a later date. But anyway, that's my review of this car. We'll do another quick view round of the car just so you can get all the nice details and that. So we've got the nose, the front wing, we've got the decal on the nose, front wing there, nicely shaped. We've got the front wheel, obviously, MasterCard, and all the nice details there. And it was kind of an evolution car throughout the year, because I know these rear body panels here, well, this rear side wing here are sort of on there in some races and not on others. It sort of changed throughout the year, as you see, like in Formula 1 today. Wings come and go and change shape as well. I'll go around this side, and of course, being a Mattel model, it does roll really well. See, nicely made. Anyway, that's my review. That's the Jordan 199, and that's pretty much all I have to say for the model. Yeah, I will say, get hold of it if you can. It is one of the more common models if you look on eBay. You can probably pick it up for around £15–20. The Frenton model, I think, is a bit more sought after, or a bit more rare, I think. And also, this car was repainted into the 2000 livery as well for launch spec or show car spec, but you can avoid those if you want. But yeah, it is a model I would recommend getting. even if you're not a fan of the Mattel models, I would say get it, because it's, you know, it's a nice looking car. You know, it's bright yellow, and it stands out against all the Mattel Ferraris, for instance. But anyway, that's my review, and I shall leave it for now, and I shall return with another review at a later date. So, bye for now.